National Football League is on the air. It was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. Pittsburgh Steelers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
You're mine.
Mike, he's coming.
Carr now on first down. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. We got three, fellas. We got three. Low. Slam.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Stays on his feet. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, number 20.
Now a play fake. Carr.
Rip left.
Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Carr completes it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000, and Troy Aikman, he was about winning because remember, he had Michael Irvin to throw it to. We had Emmitt Smith to hand it to. Just imagine if he was throwing it the way they throw it around nowadays, his numbers, boy, would they be sky high.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really... Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Point after try forthcoming. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy.
Makes the score Colts 7, Steelers nothing. Austin McGinnis set to kick off.
McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
58's the mic. 58.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's brought in by Harris. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line.
58's the mic.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
Now a throw here to his running back. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Wilson will throw again. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that, but he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it.
Touchdown! That's caught. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Point after, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. McGinnis with a kickoff honors following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Throwing is Wilson.
Mike, 58 right there.
Johnson's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Ready, set. 58 is Mike. So we got man. Bravo. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. It's our time. This is our time, guys. It's our time. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Rabbit. Exit. Rabbit. Ready, go.
Again, Wilson.
58 is the mic.
And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10.
70 in. Watch the pass. Go. Fox trot.
Here's Wilson. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big connection on that one, 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. There he goes left side. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
The extra point up and good, and it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
That's what I do. Mike 9. Echo. We gotta get to 9. Mike over there.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
That's my Slice. Go.
Now Wilson on first down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
69 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Watch the curve.
You're mine.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied here in the second quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Hey, check back 34. 29.
Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. Looking deep for Adams. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Baby, that's baby shop. 34's the mic, 34's the mic, he's coming.
To throw his Carr.
I'm here all day.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Campbell. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Carr. Rolling to his left. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Flush to his right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead now up to 14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr looking deep for Adams. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Corey Willis. And the Colts are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, I don't want to take too much away from his performance throwing the football. He's got the 4 touchdown passes, but this now a second interception of the ball game.
And, partner, part of what's gotten him the 4 touchdowns is a certain fearlessness. But that fearlessness borders with recklessness.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Lane. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Looking for Campbell downfield. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, now Carr. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Austin McGinnis out for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21.
Makes the score Steelers 49, Colts 28.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And shedding a man at the 40. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Let's go!
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the offense is going to get the ball back. After all that, heck, it'll be a first down. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
Come on, QB, come on. Go! Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Now Wilson.
It's gonna be a long day, offense. It's gonna be a long day.
He's got his receiver, Cooper.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw there, hauled in by Claypool. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Man out. 58,
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Trying to decipher. What's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On play action, Ellinger. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley Cox. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there for Indy.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3-yard line, got to love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They'll look to run with Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll try and run Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight end right, tight end right.
Going for it, here's Ellinger. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Steeler D will celebrate the goal line stand. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Ready. 8, read.
Hey, we got to
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Wahoo. 50. Plant. Defense wins championships, baby.
Mike 9. Mike.
Faster.
Here we go.
Ready, go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets it complete to Harris. And all the way up to the 49.
Let's go, baby.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Thomas brings it in. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
I'm here all day. Mike 9. Mike 9.
Yes. Ready, go.
On 1st down, Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And now off to the races down the right side. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that pick 6 a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession 4th quarter lead. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one. And oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, is the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Tighten up. Let's go. 58's the mic. 58. 58's the mic.
Throwing is Wilson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big play there on the catch and run.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Let's go.
We own
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's swung out wide to Harris. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Harris. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Here we go. At 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey, defense.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend the lead out to 24. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, 75 yards. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis,